Hi my ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. I hope everybody is doing well. It's Sunday morning. I have a steaming hot cup of coffee to start me off. I've probably spent the last hour trying to work out the order of the decks, and B trying to find the decks, which I thought would be easier because these are not only my favourite decks of 2024, but my most used decks. However, about a month ago, I had a bit of a rejig and took a lot of decks from here into the back room, which left lots of spaces, so I rearranged my cabinet. So 2 decks were particularly hard to find, but I have found them. So yeah, I'm a little bit later in doing my top 10 decks of 2024. This is my 8th year of doing them. I started this in 2017. And I think I got to about June and I said that this year would be particularly challenging because the exceptional decks that have been released this year. We have been really fortunate for good quality decks. We've really seen a shift as well from mass market producers in terms of the quality of the decks that they're producing now as well. And so yeah, it's been really tough. I could have easily done a top 20, but I decided to stick with tradition and do the top 10, which is what I'm going to do. A couple of honourable mentions, because I think everybody's going to expect that there'll be an RWS clone in there. And my number 1 deck last year was the first edition of the Retina 8, and which is this one. This year they brought out a silver version, but it's exactly the same in every sense. But this probably is my most used deck anyway. It's just glorious. It's, as far as I mean, it's redrawn as well as recolored, but as far as clones go, this one is right up there. The Taschen set that was released this year was exceptional as well. That was really good quality. So a shout out to that. And then also, I just wanted to give an honourable mention to the JK Tarot decks that were released by Tarot Collectibles this year. Both the 1989 and the 1973, was it, or 71? These are fantastic. This one is still in order because I've not used this. I've been using, as you can tell by the box, I've been using that one a lot more. But absolutely wonderful reproduction of the JK weight, permission given from the creator. So really love that. So an honourable mention to Tarot Collectibles as well for their JK weight editions. I also wanted to give an honourable mention to Three Trees Tarot, because whilst I'm not a huge animal deck lover, as you know, I don't mind animals in decks, but when animals, it's an animals only deck. However, this is a Mad Witch bag as well that I keep it in. This deck has got quite a bit of use this year, and I love it because it's not just an animal deck. The artwork is just storybook. It's just exquisite artwork. But I love the theme of this deck. It's an old abandoned house in the middle of the woods that have been reclaimed by nature and wildlife. And there's I've done some beautiful readings with this, especially when you lay 3 or 4 out in a row and you get kind of like an emerging story. But absolutely beautiful deck. And as far as animal decks go, I think this is possibly my favourite ever. So I wanted to give an honourable mention as well to the Heartwood Tarot. Okay, so top 10. So my rules that I do for all the years is it doesn't mean it was necessarily released in 2024, though the majority was. think I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Wasn't necessarily released in 2024, but it came to me in 2024, and these are my top 10 in terms of favorites, but also most used by me this year. All right, so in 10th place is the Old Style Tarot. Now this was inspired by a deck that I got on Etsy, which had very similar kind of art style, nice tarot size, matte cards. And then after I ordered it, people were saying that it was AI, because there's some little anomalies on it. They came out, the creators, and said, no, it's not AI, it's been drawn by an artist, but it may have had some kind of computer enhancement. I didn't know how I felt about it. I still love it, and I love the backs. I absolutely love the backs of that deck. And then Old Style Tarot by Alexander Ray was released. And I thought, well, actually, this one looks very similar in that vintage art style. Just trying to wonder if I need to bring the camera down a bit. I feel a bit more comfortable showing you this at this. Let me make sure there's enough light. Yeah, so this one in particular has, it scratches that itch. The deck that I just showed you that I got off Etsy was matte. This has got a silky, it's not a gloss, it's like a silky finish. Again, really beautiful, beautiful backs. And the artwork is absolutely beautiful in this deck. Really like it. And it does give me that tarot reader vibe, you know, when you turn over cards and you've got these kind of vintage designs on them. Yeah, and you can see the line work of the pen. So it's like pen and ink. Really, really beautiful. There is a blank card, there we go, that comes with this as well, which I've been using as, I know in the book it talks about if you get a blank card, it can't answer the question, you've got to rephrase your question or reframe your way of thinking about the question. I just use this as a significator card. I'm really big into significators, so I always like it when a deck has 78 plus one, you know, or a couple of extra cards that you could use as a significator card, because it's a big part of my readings now. Really like that for the Seven of Cups. It's very different to the Seven of Cups with the third eye, but traditional Four of Wands. So there is a blend here of the traditional with ones that kind of challenge you a little bit more as well. So Old Style Tarot lives on my shelf, so I've just got the box out so you could see it. It's by Alexander Ray. I think it was US Games. Yeah, US Games is the publisher of that. All right, so in 9th place is Tarn Ellis's Earthwoman Tarot. Might seem like a strange choice. Earthwoman, it is very female centric, but you know, we all embody both the female, the masculine, and the in-between. So nice little book that you get with it. But for me, the images in this deck are just really, really gorgeous. They are faceless, as you can see here. But there's something, again, nice matte cardstock. There is something about this that really, really speaks to me. Look at that King of Pentacles. Some people don't like faceless decks. They prefer to see expressions. What I like about this deck, here's our Fool, is that when you've got a faceless deck, you can project your own sort of inner state. Whether you're, sometimes in Buddhism we call it the 10 life states or the 10 worlds. So you have things like rapture, anger, things like that. And it has a positive and negative to it, because anger can, you know, be self-destructive, but it also can force you to take action against something like an injustice. But when you see a faceless expression and you're not quite sure how you're feeling, I think sometimes that can project back to you your own kind of life state that you're experiencing. So for me, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at that Hermit. It's very atmospheric. Here's our Devil card. This is, I put most of the decks in order and then I just kind of shuffled them as I got it out the box. Just beautiful, beautiful artwork, beautiful imagery. Yeah, it really speaks to me. Our King of Cups. Okay, oh, and there's the backs. So, Earthwoman Tarot at number 9. I do like the, because I know I always seem to be picking on those Scarabeo, but their cardstock isn't great. But when they do them in these 2-part boxes where the top comes off, they seem to be of a much higher quality. So I was pleased that that one came like that. Let's have a sup of coffee. Okay. So a bit of a strange choice perhaps for number 8, but I've gone with the FOS New Journey Tarot. And again, it might not be that the artwork is exceptionally beautiful, but I'm also going with decks that have come in this year that I've used a lot. And this deck has been used a lot. I've only just put it in the box because it was in a separate bag as well. And I couldn't find the book for it. That was another delay, but the book was on the bookshelf because I've read this. It's John Matthews, is the creator of the deck, and he's worked with Charles Newington for the artwork. Our very own Andre Asti has also done the foreword for this book at the beginning, as you can see here. But the FOS New Journey is very different. So instead of your traditional 78 cards made up of 22 majors and then 14 cards in each suit, 10 pips and 4 courts, this is a majors only deck, but it adds extra layers to it. And I wish now I'd put this in order because that would have explained it better. So like when we get to the tower, for instance, the tower is the, you know, the impact of that external factor striking, but then the next card was the downfall. So rather than have a tower with the people falling from it, you've got the tower and then you've got the downfall. So it uses the 22 major arcana, but it puts extra cards in between. And then we have archetypes such as the teacher, the wasteland, the dreamer, the questioner, the priestess. I did a whole, I love this card, the past. Look how beautiful that image is as well. All those shadowy figures in the past as you're walking towards a new direction. I did a whole live about this, about whether the tarot, because John Matthews was kind of saying, you know, if we was to create the tarot today, would it have the same structure with courts and everything? Or would it be more something like this? There are people saying, well, actually, this is an oracle. Here's our Fool. But I've just really enjoyed working with this. There's our tower card. So you see there's nobody falling from it because that's card 30, the tower. And then if you remember, we had card 31, the next card, which is the downfall. So that gives you a bit of an idea of what's in between. We have Judgment, the Escape, Chaos, the Hermit, the Hierophant. So we do have all of the tarot cards in there. but additional ones for a modern world, if you like. The road, look at that. Yeah, so FOS New Journey, I've really enjoyed working with this year. I think it's great. And that doesn't mean that I have any issues at all with the tarot and the structure. Of course not. Every deck I've got, other than this, follows, you know, just trying to find the box in, follows that structure. But it's nice to have something a little bit different to play around with as well. So that's the FOS New Journey at number 8. And then at number 7 we have Alejandro Rosan's The Ryder Marseille Tarot deck, and this was produced by Artisan Tarot. It was sent to me as a review copy. It was only 1,000 made. I absolutely love this. Look at these backs. It's the roses and lilies, but in black and white, which I just think is great. When I say black and white, it's got staining on it. It looks really aged. These cards, well, all the cards from Artisan Tarot are the highest quality. It's like casino quality playing cards. They just glide on this beautiful linen cardstock. It's not a new concept to mash up two traditions of Rider-Waite-Smith and Marseille, but I love the way that these guys have done this, because it's very, you can see just by the facial expressions that they're very Marseille. I'm just trying to find a major. So you've got your RWS majors, but in the style of Marseille. Same with the minors. But what they've done, particularly for the wands and the swords, is they've shown the design that you would get on the Marseille card embedded into the design or the image depicting the RWS. And it's done so well. I absolutely fell in love with this the moment that I got it. Because there is something about the images of the Marseille that speak to me about tarot. And because we're used to like playing cards as well that have very similar facial features and expressions. But the RWS is I love how they've done that too, very in keeping, is my preferred tarot tradition that I like to use. But for this, I feel like I do get the best of both worlds. It's wonderful. I'm not sure if there's any of these left, but Artisan Tarot is the place to go and have a look. If you Google them, they come up straight away, and they've got some wonderful decks there. So that's the get your words out, the Ryder Marseille Tarot deck, and the creator, the artist, is Alejandro Rosan, and that was published by Artisan Tarot. I love that the inside of the box also has this black and white roses and lilies design. Okay, so I'm going to have another sup of coffee. So we're down to number 6. Number 6 for me is Terra Volatile. It could have come out last year. These are my extra cards, because you get some extra cards. So you choose which ones you want to have in your deck. Mine is, again, it's out on my shelf because I use this a lot. I love this Rebirth card. It actually says Rebirth on this. It's just gorgeous. Again, soft linen, so it makes it these cards just glide together. It makes it very easy to shuffle, to use. I love the artwork in this. It speaks of another time. It's just glorious. I love everything about it. instant love affair when I got this deck. If you was in the unboxing day bash last night, you will have seen that as a Christmas present to myself, this isn't gonna all fit in. See if I could take this out a bit. I bought this huge, humongous collector's edition as well, which has all of the extra cards in it, but they are huge. They're really, really thick as well. I don't know if you can see that. They are the thickness of this whole box, and when you put the original next to it, you get a sense of just how big these cards are. So you can see here we have 2 full cards. There's 2 for every card. Some there's even more. There's about 3 or 4 death cards, etc. But yeah, so that is the collector's edition. There will be a video on this because I want to create a deck using all of the extras and show you which ones I got. There's also this huge book which is wonderful. It shows you all the cards. So for instance, the 3 of Cups talks about the different 3 of Cups and alternative cards, etc. So really, it's a bit of a tome, but it's well worth a read. Put that back. Okay, so we're down to the top 5 now, and in 5th place, this deck is everything. It came very early in the year, and it's the Arminburg Tarot. I can't wait for this to be released. US Games, of course, doesn't ship to the UK. I think I got it from, yeah, I did. It was, Cheryl sent it me from Oneness Emporium. I first saw it on Dustin's channel, Modern Metaphysicae, and he started showing it and he was talking about it. I was like, what is that? That deck is wonderful. It's often referred to, usually by me as well, and I'm not quite sure why. It's usually referred to as like a modern take on Morgan Greer, in as much as it's very up close and personal with the archetypes. I've got this beautiful soft leather pouch that I keep my cards in. These are the backs, which are stunning. I love that. Again, it really fits with the leather case. Lovely cardstock because it's US Games. They're not linen or anything, but they still kind of glide nicely because they're very soft and satiny. But as you can see here, we don't get 5 ones. What we're getting is the wording that it's 5. It shows you here what suit it's associated with, and you'll perhaps get a wand in there. But you're looking at these 2 people. So a 5 is a disruptive number. And again, if we're thinking of the RWS, you've got them kind of battling it out with their staves. Some say that they're actually trying to form a pentacle. There's lots of school of thought around that. But we've got this sort of the locking of the eyes, the squaring up of each other, the start of some sort of conflict. Yeah, it's just wonderful. Justice, we've got her blindfolded here. She's got the gavel, is that what they call it? I don't think it is called gavel, is it? Sounds right. I often make up words though, so I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. So yeah, but again, we're just zooming in close here for the 5 of Pentacles. We see the church, we see the snow, the tattered clothes, walking with a stick. You know, there's it's got a prosthetic here, wooden leg, so we know is somebody that's really been through it. Tower not so much, but and again with the courts, look at this for the 5 of Swords, holding a wrist that's holding the the sword, the 9 of Pentacles. We've got her arm here and her wrist, but it's focusing on the bird. We've also got this beautiful bunches of grapes, the fruit tree behind, the tier here of the 3 of Swords. Lots of people complain about, oh, that image of the RWS image of 3 of Swords. The heart is here on this hat pin. We've got a tear to resemble the anguish, the heartbreak, etc. I just think this is just gorgeous. The laurel, the white horse. Oh, I've had some amazing readings with this. I absolutely love it. I was lucky enough to be able to gift this to a couple of friends in the last couple of weeks as well, in the hopes that they would also really appreciate it. The artwork is also beautiful. Love the strength. Look at this. So she's wearing this pendant here with the lion on there. She's wearing it close to her chest, to her heart, you know, and it's that wanting to imbue that strength. I love the bodice and everything here. It's just wonderful. Such a gorgeous deck. The 5, you've got the broken cup. Ugh, gosh, I mean, come on, look at this. Judgment. We've got the feathers, so you know that there's an angel with wings, the trumpet, and then you see this hand grasping to get out, the lid coming open, being called from the grave. The hermit's lamp. Gosh, just gorgeous. 6, the hands in a begging position and the coins being offered. I love this. You've got I love the ballet shoes, but this laurel wreath as well. The devil is great. I can't say enough about this deck. Absolutely love it. So that's Arminburg Tarot by Steve Arminburg, and it was published by US Games. Love, love, love it. Okay, number 4. So number 4 is the Penumbra Tarot. Evoke the liminal space. This was created by Eris Elizabeth, and she is a phenomenal artist. I mean, such beautiful cards. There is a sizable, chunky book, as you see here. It's got a rose petal finish. Wonderful colour images. It's really chunky, probably the chunkiest guy, but 343 pages for a little white book. Well, you can't really call that a little white book. The production quality of this, it was produced by Ethany, is just gorgeous. These are one of the nicest backs I've ever seen. Totally gorgeous. I love the rose gold finish on the sides as well. They're a decent sized card. But out on the mat, really nice mat. The vibrancy of the artwork is just sensational for this deck. Absolutely adore this. For an indie deck, it's also, if you are in the UK, you don't have to worry about you know, shipping from the US. I believe Cheryl still has some of these in stock at Oneness Emporium. She stocks a lot of Ethany's decks. Love this Lover's card with the snake and the dove. The contrast there is just wonderful. Colours are rich and vibrant. Absolutely gorgeous. Here's the element of Pentacles. So there is some changing of the courts. The Temperance card. Throne of Swords. I mean, look at this, the Throne of Pentacles. We have this Pan figure here. The green man above, but look at the roots and branches of that tree. stunning deck. I'm surprised this didn't get more attention. I have seen a couple of walkthroughs of it, but just because of how gorgeous this is. Element torches. Oh, look at that. So it has darker images as well. The Wheel of Fortune. Quite traditional. I love this. Look at this. I mean, that could be an art picture on your wall, couldn't it? It's just so wonderful. Here's our Hermit. Look at the Hermit's face. The Nightmare card. Love the Ten of Cups. Look at that rainbow sky. All sat round a fire. Beautiful. Eight of Swords, that sort of trap that we feel that we're in sometimes. Oh, look at that. Six of Swords. The World. So yeah, Penumbra Tarot, such a gem. Beautiful in every sense, you know, the images, the production quality, everything. And Eris actually crocheted me this pouch that I showed at the beginning. It's gorgeous, really gorgeous. Absolutely love it. Very treasured, sits here on my desk, and she's a lovely, lovely person. Let's have a sup of coffee. Because now we are into our top three. Okay, what's going to be in the top three? So in third place, and you'll see these are now in bags and things because I carry them with me, I take them places, or they're out on the desk and I don't want them to get dusty, but I don't want to keep putting them back in their boxes because I use them such a lot. But in third place, it's Tarot of Paul's Moon. Now, I've got Serpent and Peacock, a couple of editions of that. Carol Ann is from Libra Moon, which is the company. And there is a fantastic, I've got to mention as well, the book that you get with this, because this is quality. It's real leather, gold edged, and it's just lovely. There is an oracle deck that came out as well, Beasts, forgot what it's called now, it's only behind me, Medieval Oracle of the Beasts, which also has a very similar guidebook. It's got this embossing on, really takes you back to that time. So these are medieval imagery. I've got quite a few medieval decks. I love Cat Black's deck. I also love medieval Europe tarot. But when I got this deck, it just blew all the others out of the water. I love everything about it. And again, for me, it is about the images, but it's also about the aesthetic. Now, they used a cardstock that I've not been familiar with. It's a silk finish cardstock, which means they weren't able to laminate it like they have with the Beast Oracle. But that was fine because I edged mine in this beautiful royal blue. I thought it complemented the backs really nicely. These again just glide. There are gold embellishments on each of the card for the number, but also for the titles at the bottom. The backs are exquisite, absolutely gorgeous. I believe this was taken from a photograph from a painted church ceiling, I seem to recall. And then they have these metallic stars on the back as well. They are quite a large size, so like an oracle size. just to give you a size comparison there against a standard tarot. So they're much wider and a little bit taller. But for the artwork, I really appreciated that because you get to see more of it. So these are taken from old manuscripts, but they fit really well with, and it's not an easy thing to do, I'm sure, to match pre-existing artwork with tarot cards, but they've done it really, really well. Look at this for the Four of Swords. Oh, sorry. Beautiful, really beautiful. And if you do like medieval art, like I do, then the choices that have gone into this deck are well made. They really have, you can tell a lot of thought has gone into them. Some people have commented saying, well, some of the images aren't that sharp compared to others. Depends where they're taking it from and what the quality of the original print is. But actually, I think it's fine. I love the Temperance card. Look at that. Look at her wings. So yeah, Tarot of Paul's Moon has had a lot of use. I took this with me when I went to Glastonbury. You can also see like that's gold stamping for the crown. Three of Swords. Look at the Death card. It's epic. The Moon, which set this off. Again, I believe this moon was taken or was considered for one of the other decks. And then Paul saw it on holiday abroad and said, look, here's the moon that we was going to use. And that started this journey. I love the Judgment card. Absolutely brilliant image. So this suddenly became my favorite medieval style deck. Although I love and appreciate the others, this one is just gorgeous. Some images do have religious connotations because it's taken from those type of manuscripts and books, but I don't mind religious art. I just don't like what what a lot of religions purport to be or what they preach. So, oh, look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. So, Tarot of Paul's Moon by Libra Moon is my number 3. So, down to the last 2. Now, this was I nearly died then. I thought I wasn't recording. I was like, oh no, for the last 15 minutes I've not been recording. This was very difficult because, truth be told, either one could have gone in the top spot because I love them both. But I went with, okay, which one have I used the most to determine, and the only factor was that the deck that is number 1 came in very early in the year, like January, early in the year, whereas this one was in the latter half of the year. So my number 2 is Curious Travels by Amelia Rosier. This took me by surprise. I didn't even know it had been out as an indie deck. It was sent to me by Cheryl for the purpose of review. And I looked at it and I thought, okay. And it came with a few others and I didn't even review it first. I saw another one, I think it was Tarot of Hearts. And I thought, yeah, we'll take a look at this one now, not knowing anything about it. I don't think the box does it justice really, although it's beautiful. Or the title really, Curious Travels. But boy, was I impressed with this deck, and it hasn't left my reading space. I absolutely love it. Again, it was a deck that I took with me to Glastonbury. I showed it Sandra, I showed it Giselle. I believe they both now have purchased it themselves. It is linen. It's that lovely high quality linen. Nice cardstock. These are the backs. The images are very simple, but very beautiful. And again, they've used cold stamping to embellish the cards with these gold accents. Look at the Emperor. It speaks to my pagan heart, but at the same time, it's a beautiful read. Love the Six of Swords here with the boat crossing. She's veiled her face, but you see the swords are gold, the sun in the sky is gold. Look at the colours, and I just think it's absolutely wonderful. And as I said, was a contender for my favourite deck of the year, and the only reason why it came in at number 2 is because I've not used it as much as the other one. But I just love it. I really love it. It has had so much use. Look at that little salamander on the horse. I love the red in that. It really pops on the wheel. Just show you a few more of my favourites. Look at this for the Hierophant, the Wise Owl. I love the Supplicants here. This is what I talked about earlier, about the conflict, disruptive fiver influence. Love this Fool. It's not the first time we've seen a crocodile in a Fool card either, historically. The Devil is brilliant. Oh, just gorgeous. The Hermit, I think, is brilliant. If it didn't have the star, I would want to try and get that as an art print. I love the fact that it's coming out of the darkness, it's in the shadows, it's only illuminated by his lantern. I do like the addition of the star, but even if it wasn't there, I'd love this image of the Hermit. I think it's absolutely beautiful. This is the Strength card, which is the cover of the box. This is the additional card, which is the Travelers. Again, this is the card that I use as a significator. The Tower card. It's just beautiful, and it's a blend. It's a blend of, you know, humans and animals. We all see an eye there for Judgment. Oh, look. Just gorgeous. Look at the Lovers. Yeah, so Curious Travels Tarot deck is my number 2, but could have easily been number 1 as well. All right, so I'm sure a lot of you have guessed anyway which deck has made it to number 1. As I said, this came in January, and oh, I was just so excited to have it. It is Tarot of Echoes by Atorian. I was so over the moon. She reached out to me and said, can I send you an advanced copy? She's also signed it Atorian 2024. And I was so excited because for the longest time, Oracle of Echoes has been a favourite oracle of mine. It's absolutely gorgeous. And when I heard she was creating a tarot of echoes, I just couldn't contain my excitement. And then it got paused while she completed Tarot Atorian, the French deck. And then we have it. This deck is everything. I love how intense it is. I love how powerful it is. I love how expressive it is and emotive in so many ways. Anna's art style is sublime. It's instantly recognizable for me. I see an image and I think that's Atorian's work. I was very privileged. I remember this being created. She did a time-lapse video showing the creation of this card. There is so much happening in the images. It's not always what you first see. You have to sit and look at what's happening within the cards as well. And as I was going to say, I was very fortunate to have Anna on my channel for a second time when this deck was released, and she talked us through a lot of the images, because I showed her some of my favorite cards, having worked with it for a very brief amount of time. I love the poppy here. It's a poppy field, but the petals that have fallen off for the Five of Cups. Look at the Hermit. We've got the landscape inside, but also it's repeated in this lantern, almost like an infinity mirror. Just absolutely beautiful. So much. Here's a five of Pentacles. Again, Five of Wands, as I was showing in the Arminburg, you know how they were squaring up to each other. They're rutting here. It's just a wonderful look at the flames in the candle and what's happening. So this is the Wise One for our Hierophant. Justice. And the colours, look at the colours. Atorian is so talented. I'm in awe every time I see her decks. Look at this, a rip in the fabric of reality. This tear. She's also got a video on her own channel where it's about 2 hours. I have it saved as a favourite because she talks in detail about each card and her inspiration for each card, which I always appreciate. Again, look at the flame here. Just wonderful. Eight of Wands being pierced by this arrow. Love the perspective of the Hangman here. We're on the ground looking up. This one is beautiful with the ancestors. She's on top of this rock, embracing or perhaps celebrating her triumph of getting to the top of that rock. But she's got her ancestors looking on. I could say so much about each image, but look at this, Ace of Pentacles being offered the key. I think there's a video as well where this comes to life. I love it, absolutely love it. Look at this with the two seasons of summer and winter. polar opposites, everything having balance. The Tower card is brilliant. A little bird trying to save its little babies. Ah, oh, love it. This is probably my favourite King of Cups ever. Beautiful. Look at this split as well. The Two of Swords. The hand here, the Five of Swords. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Oh, and the final card is a brilliant Ten of Swords. Look at this. You see the swords falling. She's hanging onto the edge of this cliff literally by her fingertips, but there are footprints walking away, which indicates, you know, was she pushed? Absolutely wonderful. So, my number one for 2024 is Tarot of Echoes by Atorian. So, just as a recap, in 10th place was Old Style Tarot. In 9th place was Earthwoman. 8 was FOS New Journey. 7 was Ryder Marseille. 6 was Terra Volatile. 5 was Arminburg. 4 was Penumbra. 3 was Tarot of Paul's Moon. 2 was Curious Travels. And 1 was Tarot of Echoes. Thank you for watching, everybody. Let me know your thoughts on either my top 10 or what would be in yours. You don't have to mention all 10, but what's your favourite of the year? Just before I go, if you've watched right till the end, then there's a little bit of a treat, because sponsored by the guys over at Red Feather Schiffer, one of my top 10 decks is the FOS New Journey, and I have a brand new unopened copy to give away. I'm going to do the draw at the end of January, so the last couple of catch up and cards of the month of January, I will do the draw. If you want to take part, so if you want to be entered into the draw to win this, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, I will ship it out to the winner. Then just leave a comment saying what your favourite deck of 2024 is. And then I will enter you into the draw. Okay. So that's to win a copy of the FOS New Journey Tarot, which was in my top 10 in 8th position. And thank you to the guys over at Red Feather Schiffer for donating this for the prize draw. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate your time in watching this video. I look forward to hearing your comments below, and yeah, do let me know yours. Thanks, everyone, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.